Welcome to another episode of Theater Corner. I'm your host, Michael Taylor. Today we're broadcasting from the famous Kirk Douglas Theater in Culver City, California. Theater Corner is an interview series created as an ongoing effort to promote more diverse interest and involvement in the theater scene. Silence your cell phones, folks. You're about to enter Theater Corner. Lamar Richardson is an emerging stage and screen star with a penchant for inspiring others to follow their dreams. Originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, Richardson graduated from Columbia University in the city of New York in 2015 and has performed throughout the New York theater circuit. He has also appeared in several films and television shows, including Boardwalk Empire and Over My Dead Body. Most recently, Richardson received an LA Drama Critics Circle Award for his performance as Sylvester in Phylicia Rashad's production of August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom at the Mark Taper Forum. I'm very happy to welcome another Columbia alumnus, Lamar Richardson, to Theater Corner to discuss highlights from his flourishing career. Lamar Richardson, you are very welcome to be here on Theater Corner. Thank you so much for coming by while you're up here living your hustle bustle life in Los Angeles. We appreciate you taking out time to come visit a brother here at Theater Corner.
Thank you for having me.
All right, it's an absolute pleasure. And you are officially the third Columbia alumnus to appear here on Theater Corner.
Wow, lucky number three.
Lucky number three. That's what it is. We want to start talking about a quote that we found that you penned. Okay. And it goes, you feel that your purpose is to serve as a source of inspiration and to spread joy.
Yes.
Why is that important to you, sir?
So actually, I brand myself as being an actor on a faith journey to spread light and laughter in the industry. And I say that because it's a very unconventional path, and there's a lot of negativity surrounding it. And I think that you need key figures to be present and prominent, showing that it is possible to follow your dreams and it is possible if you just believe in yourself. So I pride myself on sharing my journey with pictures, with posts, with quotes, to inspire those like me who want to pursue this and who might not be at the stage that I'm at as of yet, but who are pursuing just as often.
Okay. So at Columbia, you studied psychology.
Yes.
You're climbing into the minds of humans.
Yes.
So what caused you to make that switch to acting from psychology?
Well, you know, actually it goes hand in hand pretty much. Because psychology is a study of human behavior.
Correct.
And acting is all about behavior.
So, right.
You know, it's about life and behavior and understanding relationships and dynamics and things of that nature. So I feel like it gave me a specific lens and insight to look into my acting, and it informs my acting, actually.
I see.
And it's funny because I came into college on a law track.
Oh, okay.
So I was pursuing a law degree, undergrad, and my dream was to be a lawyer. But, you know, through the motion of things worked out to where I ended up in art.
That's not a bad place to be, unless you're a parent.
Right.
Of a son who went to Columbia. So how did that go over? How well did that go over? Telling your father you're not so hot on the idea of being a lawyer. You want to be an actor.
Well, you know, I've been performing since I was 4.
Okay.
In church. I grew up in the church, so every Black History Month I was doing plays and things like that. So they pretty much always had an idea that I was interested in it, but it was never like, let me pursue it as a career option.
Okay.
And I left home when I was 16 to go to boarding school, and then I went to New York to go to Columbia. So my parents have always understood that I've been intentional about following my dreams and doing what I want to do, and it always works out. Okay. So they said, okay, you want to pursue this? Okay. Up until this point, you've made successful strides, so we're trusting it's going to work out for you.
But it was still a long conversation nonetheless.
Yeah, because at the time I made the decision, I had an internship offer at Barclays Investment Bank.
Oh, okay.
And a $10,000 scholarship offer.
Oh, my.
That I turned down.
Oh, geez.
To start doing background work and local theater in New York and at Columbia as well.
I see.
So it was interesting, but I'm a big guy on faith, and I told them that something I want is on my heart, and I wanted to pursue it.
Okay. And so when you studied, you spent some time at Oxford University.
Yes.
Was that part of the other track, or was it the track
other
for
track.
Oh, it was the other track.
The other track.
Oh, my.
So it was my freshman summer,
Okay.
and it was a politics, philosophy, and sociology course. And again, a 6-week ethics course on morality and things of that nature, just further delving into understanding human behavior and thoughts and reasoning.
Okay.
And it was a great experience, but it was different.
But while you were there, did you get a chance to see any theater or look into theater or tap into
No.
theater in any way?
No.
Ah,
It was mostly literature. So a lot of reading of the great texts and tours of the museums and things of that nature.
you received critical acclaim for your starring role in Phylicia Rashad's production of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom at the Mark Taper Theater here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that experience?
I can tell you a lot about that experience. What can I say? It was absolutely transformational.
Oh, okay.
It was everything you could dream of. An amazing cast, an amazing director, an amazing production, theater, run. It was perfect.
Okay.
I was surrounded by veterans, Lillias White, Keith David, Glenn Turman. I grew up watching these
Right.
legends on TV, on stage, and movies, and just to be a fly on the wall in the room was just such a fulfilling experience.
Wow.
And being in that project really just took my career to another level. It gave me great exposure, and it just deepened my work and my craft in such a special way that I'm forever grateful for it.
Okay. So you were in there with some heavy hitters.
Very.
Some theater OGs. So how did you end up in this role? How did that?
Oh, okay, so I actually met Miss Rashad in New York.
Okay.
A year prior, we did a screenplay reading together for a film. And we were first introduced to each other then, and it was a week-long reading. And then she reached out to me later and said she was directing this next year, and would I be interested in auditioning and being considered for the role of Sylvester.
I see.
So of course,
Yeah.
Fhylicia Rashad reaches out to you.
Right.
She could say, do you want to stand and hold the script? And I would say yes.
Right.
So that was the beginning, and then it was a process, and then it all worked out, and here we are.
So obviously, acting is a very competitive and difficult career. What would you say would be the biggest contributing factors to your success so far?
Well, that's very easy for me. I'm a strong believer.
Okay.
And I would absolutely hands down say that my faith in God has been my number one primary force that has gotten me to this point. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
I see.
With my background and where I've come from to where I am today, I just don't think that, a lot of it is luck and things of that nature, but I think that it's faith and it's just divine intervention.
Kind of being true to yourself.
Right.
kind
And,
of
just
approach.
trusting the process.
So Lamar, you have a bit of everything in your resume. Theater, television, acting, you have modeling. More specifically, hand modeling. And I've seen a bit of your work. It is extraordinary. I've seen hands move around, but gee whiz, that's highly trained hand acting there. But what we're wondering is what kind of opportunities are you're most drawn to?
In terms of roles,
Yes.
I love playing the underdog, who everyone roots for, who pulls on your heartstrings, and and I love giving them a new spirit of defiance. Sylvester in Ma Rainey, he had a stutter, and everyone in the world of the play viewed him as an outcast and as an impediment and as someone who was holding up the production of getting the job done. And from my perspective, I'm like, oh, well, this he may have a stutter, but he's still a force to be reckoned with in his own right.
Right, right.
And through, my exploration with the character to deliver that, it allowed me to play Sylvester in a new way that hasn't been done before. And I think that I chase roles that do the same thing. Someone sees it as an underdog, I see it as someone who just needs someone to champion for them.
I see.
And I think that's my purpose. Because, I'm not the 6 foot, tall, muscular guy, So I just think that it's in my background to have that kind of bone in me, and that's what I choose to fight after.
Okay. And so we talk a lot about diversity and inclusion here at the Theater Corner. And in terms of diversity and inclusion, how important do you think that is? And in the theater world, just from what you've observed and from your experience so far?
It's absolutely essential. Okay. And I think that the conversations and the dialogue that is happening now is showing that to be true. The world is diverse.
Right.
There's so many cultures, so many backgrounds, so many perspectives, and it has to be presented in the visual arts.
Okay.
For children who are growing up to see themselves in characters on TV and in movies, and to see that I can be a doctor, I can be a lawyer, I can be a teacher, I can be a garbage man like in Fences. It just shows you that there's tons of walks of life, and there's not the stereotypical or caricature portrayals that we always see that need to be explored. And that's why people love people like August Wilson.
Right.
Because 10 plays that chronicle the African American experience that otherwise you wouldn't have an inside source into. Okay. And I think that moving in that direction has to be intentional, it has to be thoughtful, and it has to be really, the table has to be diverse. The table putting these things out has to be diverse, like a diverse writing team, production team, directorial team, all of that, because it has to be a project that is fully enveloped in a way that is accurate and is honest and is truthful. Okay. And I think that, when you see like The Immoral Life of Henrietta Lacks that just came out on HBO,
right,
a story that we didn't know about, Hidden Figures, Moonlight, all these stories, these are people's experiences.
True.
And now it shows that, this stuff matters and we need to put more of it out there.
And Hollywood is finding out it's profitable. Diversity is profitable.
Very, very.
So there you go. So thank you again for coming out and taking some time. It's been a pleasure to have you here in Theater Corner.
Of course.
And look for Lamar Richardson, perhaps as the underdog, although he is not the underdog. He's far from it. He's far from it. And he's on a trajectory, y'all. And so we're really wishing the best to you in your career in Los Angeles.
Thank you.
And we're looking for some big things from you in the coming future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you, viewers, for stopping by for another episode of Theater Corner, and we'll see you next time.